Did you just answer the question?
Yeah. Let's move the chat box. Sorry, apologies. I always have the chat box closed when I'm in full flow. Let's just have a look. So when do you enter? Once it's rippled through the slower timeframes. Well, what it comes back to is this whole business of what is your tactical approach to the market. If I go back to the CSI, there we are. Okay. This is where you have to decide on two things. First of all, your tactical approach, and secondly, and perhaps more importantly, what suits your particular personality, your trading strengths and weaknesses, which is why on the program we always suggest you start with the psychology module, because if you understand that, for example, do you have the patience? What is your risk tolerance? Are you happy to lay out more risk for more reward, or do you prefer an approach whereby you're putting less risk on the table, but you're taking less in terms of reward? Because this is what it comes down to. And the point at which you get in will be dictated by your tactical approach. If you're trading as a trader and you're looking to get into a trend that's already underway, then you're going to be looking for those opportunities I've literally just outlined, where you're looking for a re-entry, in other words, where a trend has already developed. It's already left to use another analogy I use a great deal, the train has left the station, it's moving, you're jumping on board a moving train, and you're just looking for that opportunity. Where am I going to jump in? So you're constantly looking for re-entry. You've missed the breakaway if you're trading breakaways, but you've missed the initial move, and you've now got to find a point to get back in. Those are the sorts of candles and volume that you will be looking for as a re-entry. To flip it on its head, if you're looking at this as a tactical reversal trader, in other words, you're now looking, as I do most of the time, at the extremes. You're looking down at the bottom and the top all the time. So I'm looking at the Swiss franc now. That's the one I'm catching my eye. I'm also looking at the dollar rolling over here, so I'll be paying close attention to that. You would actually be looking to get in now. You'd be looking at the charts on those time frames. You'd be assessing where you would put your stop loss. How much do I have to put on this table to allow for the buffering that is like to go on? Because if you take the Swiss franc as an example, in fact, let's put the Aussie Swiss up rather than talk at the CSI. Let's talk at the chart. Let's go back to the charts. Okay, let's put the change this to the Aussie Swiss. There we go. Okay, there we go. They're all up and running now. Okay, so this is the Aussie Swiss. Now, at the moment, there are no strong signals to suggest that we've got, a very clear buying opportunity, or we've got a strong reversal coming into play. I'm not seeing. I'm just scanning across the charts. We'll go down to, I don't know, take any of these really. 15, for example. What am I seeing? Okay, I've seen the weakness here. This is just confirmed. So we've got a ton of volume under here. We've got a volatility trigger here. Now, what we're expecting on the volatility trigger is potentially for this to move into a congestion phase. What I'm not seeing right now, I'm not seeing, a deep hammer candle. I'm not seeing a narrow spread candle with lots of volume. I'm not seeing compressed price action. So at the moment, I am not seeing anything that would dictate or suggest that from a VPA perspective, this is now developing into a nice buying opportunity. In other words, I'm going to take a long position on Aussie Swiss, buy the Aussie as well as sell the Swiss franc. So I'm not seeing that at the moment. And that's really the process that you go through. You're looking at the CSI to guide you to the charts to consider. And based on that, we're now looking at the charts per se. Am I seeing anything to suggest that this is going to reverse immediately? Not at the moment. I'm not seeing it from a VPA perspective, but I'm certainly seeing it set up from a currency strength indicator perspective. And then you'd be moving to the other indicators. So you'd be looking at, you go to the currency matrix and you tease out on the Aussie. Let's just highlight one on the Aussie. Okay, let's highlight another one on the Swiss franc. because we want to see what both are doing. Okay, so that's what you're seeing across those pairs, across that particular pair. Let's just go up onto the slightly slower time frame. These are pretty quick, by the way. This is, we're down on 1 minute. This is 2 minutes. Am I breaking up? Could be losing me again, don't know. I'll carry on just in case. That's the 3 minute, and that's the. Hopefully you can still hear me. No. Apologies. Loud and clear. Great. Okay, fine. I'll carry on. I'm just going to switch myself off for a moment. I haven't gone away. Bear with us.
What do I have to wait?
Possible. I've still got mine.
You're back. You're back.
I've still got it. Okay, brilliant. Back again. Right. Okay. So what we've got here, we've got the Aussie Swiss down at the bottom here, and I've. Yeah, I have.
Say something.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. So we've got the Aussie. We've isolated on Swiss franc, Aussie, Swiss franc, Aussie. So it's giving us a heads up as to what is going on in terms of the sentiment. If we look at the 2 minute, for example, what is the sentiment towards the Swiss franc? Is it universal? And the answer is pretty much yes. We've got pretty strong buying of the Swiss franc all the way. These ideally want to be ranked all the way down the bottom here, and this one wants to move up to the top here. So that's what we're looking at in terms of the currency matrix. That's on the very fast time frames. Quick look at the currency array. There we go. Let's isolate out the Aussie. This is on 5. So this is really very much akin to the CSI. So let's just isolate out the Aussie across here, see what's going on. Let's just isolate that. And this gives you a heads up again in terms of sentiment, but also in terms of the strongest trend. So we're looking here at, we've got heavy selling on the Aussie, which we know. We've got heavy buying on the Swiss franc. That's why the Aussie Swiss is down at the bottom. We've got all these other examples as well to look at, but let's just focus on the Aussie, Aussie dollar, Aussie Swiss, Aussie yen. So they're all down the bottom here. That's terrific. So it gives us a heads up as to what to look for. So we go back to the chart again. Or the charts, there we are. Okay. Now I'm scanning across on the faster time frames, because what I'm looking for is I'm looking for VPA anomalies on these faster time frames, which may well ripple through into the slower. Now what I'm seeing right here, pull that up full size, narrow spread candle, lots of volume under that candle. That looks like potentially a little bit of buying coming in here. That's not to say it's going to reverse on a sixpence, but we are possibly seeing the first signs of that. And that's really what you're looking for the whole time. You're looking for these signals of development of a trend or reversal if you are proposing to take a reversal. If you're looking for continuation, then you're looking for opportunities to jump in. And that's why it's always so difficult to answer questions. We get it asked a lot. We get it asked, on the program, where do I get in? And you have to decide for yourself, what is your tactical approach to the market? Am I going to trade? Am I looking at reversals? Am I going to jump on a trend that's already underway? Does that fit me? Does that suit me more comfortably? Am I a breakaway trader? Am I looking for? I'm breaking up again. I'll carry on just in case. Am I looking at? Do I prefer trading breakaway trades? Do I have the? Do I have the? I'll switch off for a moment.